Morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and welcome to another NerdTube Star Trek episode review. This week we're talking about Starfleet Academy Season 1, Episode 3, Vitus Reflux. I'm joined by some fabulous Trekkies in arms this evening to talk about this episode. We've got Zam. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Yes, I'm fine.
We've got Scarlet's Fire. Hello, how are you? Cousin Cheeto.
Scarlet, we cannot hear you, just so you know. I'm hanging in there. As I put in my title down below, I Shenani-I-Can't-Even.
Okay, Lord Donkey, how are you doing?
Everything is gonna be all right, y'all.
Cheese puns in the house. And also we have Jefferson Presto Cisco. Kelly, how are you, good sir?
I'm good. Doing good. Enjoyed another good episode of Star Trek. How are you guys?
Proud to be here.
Good.
So, this episode, who wants to go first with some overall impressions? Zam? Why don't we start?
No, I want to go first.
Okay, Cheeto's chomping at the bit. Let's let him go.
Zam or Mage, you have an echo. Just say I don't know if you know that or not, but
because
okay.
My mic is on. I'll turn it off if I'm not talking.
I despised this episode. I really did despise this episode. I really thought that this episode was an awful version of what I wanted from Starfleet Academy. The last 15 minutes of this episode was good. I did like the way that the end. We'll get more into details as we go. But I absolutely, and I messaged Mage this morning after like watching about 3/4 of the episode, and I'm like, dude, like I need to tell somebody who will understand. I hate this episode. Like I don't think I have disliked an episode of New Trek more than this episode here. So
Even
I'll
the
leave
musical?
it there, and then we can talk more in details later. But like,
Even the musical.
buddy, we are in it to win it today.
Even the musical.
The musical was horrible.
I loved the musical, but this is worse than that, Cheeto?
Yes, it is definitely worse than the musical episode. I had some issues with the musical episode, but we can get, as I said, we'll get into this later.
Excellent. Zam, how about you, boss?
Oh god, this is we're gonna get controversial now, aren't we? I like this episode.
I thought you might.
I'm so glad it wasn't just me.
Yeah, I like this episode. Like this is kids in school doing kids in school shit. Like, what do you expect? You know, this is a sort of like rivalry and stuff like that. Now, you can like go regarding the layers of things like why is a Vulcan so competitive and such an art? Well, I mean, Vulcans are assholes, but why do they find logic in what they're doing?
Well,
you know,
keep in mind that
with
these
kids in
are the
opposition.
people of Navarre, which are kind of like a Romulan Vulcan hybrid. Keep that in mind. Now, I'll get into them later, though, but still.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. But regardless of all of that, I do have my gripes with this episode. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about Holly Hunter's character, to tell you the truth. I'm not sure. I found her kind of endearing in episode 1, but the fact that this woman can't sit on a fucking chair properly by episode 3 is
Wait, let's all do it. Let's all just.
It's.
If I did that, I would fall out of my chair.
This is hurting my
it's
legs.
starting to
I'll
grate
stop.
at me a little bit. Like, I mean, I saw people making the jokes on her how she sat on the captain's chair, but now it's getting ridiculous. Now, like, she's all over the fucking place on the chair. Like, just sit on the fucking chair and talk to your students without fucking looking like you're doing the Rocky Horror Picture Show or some shit like that. Just, you know what I mean? Just
This is
sit on
an
your fucking chair.
Enterprise. We don't do the Rocky Horror.
But that's about it for now. But we'll talk more. I'll give somebody else a chance to say something.
All right, we'll pass it off to Scarlet.
enjoyed the
Can't hear
episode.
you.
No, we
Okay.
can hear you now. Go ahead.
Yeah. Go for it.
And now we can't hear you.
No.
We could hear you for a second.
We're having a communications difficulties.
Where's Uhura?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, go.
Yes,
Good.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
So I enjoyed the episode. I am with Sam where, it's teenagers doing teenager things. And it reminded me a lot of like the rivalry that happens between like football teams in high school. But I like the Chancellor a lot. She is unapologetically herself. And I don't give a damn if she sits straight or stands on her head. I love her and she makes me laugh. I don't know. There's something about her personality that really clicks with mine. So it works for me. I really enjoyed it. I think that a lot of the things that happened in this episode were brilliantly planned out without being led down a railroad track.
Okay. Fair enough. Lord Donkey, how about you?
I will agree on the Chancellor. She's like Pelia if you remove the bad accent. Like she's quirky and she's 450 years old you are, be eccentric you will, sort of thing. It right as it got started, my husband's like, "Oh, so here's the High School Musical episode." Um, I don't know. I feel like we had to have something like this, right? Where they brought in this war college and they got to have a thing. So I don't know. I didn't hate this episode, but I enjoyed the first two more. But
All
never really
right,
watched it
and
again.
I feel you there, Donkey. And Jefferson, what are your overall thoughts on this episode?
I'm in shock that Cheeto disliked it so much because it's not like they're doing a bait and switch on us. We know what the show is about and what it's going to be like going into it, and they're doing that.
No, we can no.
I think. Hey! This is my time. So I think, uh, having played sports,
You are beneath me.
I really, I really appreciated the rivalry that they built and made because you see that a lot, and I saw that when I was in the jocks versus the kid drama club or whatever, and there was a lot that I liked about this, even down to the Letterman jackets. It was like, I felt like, wow, this is pretty cool because I can see, uh, I could definitely relate to it. Was the thing. There was a lot of relatable stuff to me in it, and I can get more into the details and some of the things that I really liked that was relatable, but overall, I really like this one. It's funny you guys are talking about Holly Hunter, and I didn't want to say anything about it, but it's bothering me. There's something about how she talks or moves her mouth that I just don't like. It's distracting. But Pelly is worse. Pelly is worse. So I'm just wondering, is it going to be a thing where anyone playing a Lanthanite is going to have some, like, either an obnoxious voice or move their mouth funny when they talk or some other distracting thing? I'm not a big fan of the lounging in the Okay, lounging in the chair when you're in your room or whatever, sure. But I did not like that in the captain's seat. And there was this article I went through last week that was like, Holly Hunter explains why her character, lounges in the captain's chair. I didn't even read it. It's like, I don't give a shit. You can't give me a good reason as to why that character does that. Don't care. Hope that that's not seen a lot. But I think a little bit of it's kind of odd. But anyway, that was my, most initial impression to it.
All right.
I just want to quickly add Daniel Voss's comment saying, "Are we sure Tarantino isn't secretly directing Holly Hunter?" And there were rumors of Tarantino at one point maybe getting involved in Star Trek, maybe doing an episode or a film. But I don't know. I that's the sort of shit I love. To tell you the truth, I would love to see how he would
beat.
But regarding the feet thing, yeah, with Holly Hunter, but like, there's times when you have to be informal, and she's formally fucking swinging around that thing like a wrecking ball. I mean, you just do my fucking nutting, man. It do my fucking nutting. Like, you got your students around there, and you're fucking darding on that fucking chair. Like, talk to them like a teacher. Don't fucking dance around Anyway, sorry.
No need for sorry.
Yeah.
So we had a cold open where Raimi gets up early to train, framed by a message to his parents. He runs into Genesis, who beat him up and is training before him. Yep, she turns the sass up to 11. We cut to gym class where the War Academy got the mascot of the Mugatos. Who caught that?
Yeah, that is a lower decks level, like, Easter egg that honestly I did not like. I thought that I'm kind of the whole mascot thing, and I'm like, why? Like, why do we need a fucking mascot?
Because this is college. This is college.
It is
college has mascots.
Academy.
And the War College.
Academy.
It's still college.
If you go to a trade school, do they have a mascot?
Not a trade school. This is not a trade school.
Yeah, exactly.
It's different.
Starfleet's a trade school, motherfucker.
Army has a mascot.
Starfleet is a military academy.
Army has a mascot.
Yeah,
Navy
military academy
has a mascot. Everyone has mascots.
There's nope.
Army and Navy teams do have mascots.
No, that's just one. That is one minor thing that I have. That is just the first thing that he brought up. So trust me, this whole episode, man. This whole episode.
Please fill up my cup with your tears, Cheeto.
What's it like to just be so miserable every day? You don't like kids. You don't like school. You don't like mascots. I'm sure you get beef about sports.
Oh, I hate sports.
I knew it.
I like hockey now.
Why do I hate school? I never said I hated school.
I'm just fucking.
You hate sports.
But I did in this scene. I did love. What is her first name? Is it Laura Talk?
Laura.
Who?
Laura. Okay.
Who's the Chancellor? Or I still haven't.
Number one.
Number one.
No, number one. I like her.
Commandant.
I love her. She's amazing.
She's like, what is it? What was the lady's name in Austin Powers? Like the one that's like, send in the clouds. Like I just.
Ralph Orbisna.
Yes.
Yeah. Release the drones.
Yeah, I love her so much. I was like, I was just like them, but like the whole beef thing in this scene, like I know, Mage, you're gonna get to this, but like it just piggybacks into my rage. Like the whole piggyback, the whole sophomore shenanigans at Starfleet Academy and the War Academy. I get competitiveness. I'm not upset by the fact that they're competitive against each other. The fact that they're like picking on one another. The fact that there are pranks going on. Like what? Like, why are we doing pranks in
teenagers?
They're not teenagers. Well, they're young adults. They're young adults, and it's like these are two military-esque academies. I'm sorry. Like, I think that this is not.
I think it's totally reasonable for the competitiveness and the rivalry. Remember, Starfleet Academy has been dead for how long? So this is all new stuff. for those cadets that are there.
This is
So
this is not the Starfleet Academy.
they're not the Starfleet Academy of Kirk's era.
Hold on though. Hold on a second. We don't know what the Academy is really like. We've only seen in past Trek. We've only seen some glimpses, some mentions, et cetera, et cetera. So
Starfleet Academy, the game. No, we
game.
Star Trek Beyond had a little bit. Sorry, the first Star Trek Kelvin film had a bit. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
so
Starfleet. If you play Starfleet Academy, the game, you know
Nobody's
exactly
played
what
that,
Starfleet
Cheeto.
But that's not. Yeah, I know
understand.
that. Yes, I played that game, but it doesn't mean that that's canon, and then that's what the
I
Academy.
mean, William Shatner, George Takei, and Walter Koenig was in it. I mean, like, it's pretty canon in my opinion. Like,
Okay.
by the way, if you want to see a whole Let's Play of that, it's on my channel, Milquetoast Gaming. I played through the whole game. Mage, reel me in, man.
We got to move on.
We're gonna have to beam him into the hitbox.
You know what?
Right.
Did you guys get a moment of Starship Troopers?
Yes.
Yeah, with the commercial. Yeah,
That was
join
awesome.
Starfleet
Yes.
today.
So
It's
Helldivers
funny.
also.
Yeah. Well, Helldivers is copying Starship Troopers. just so you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
From the game itself, whatever it was called, I was getting, wait, this is just Halo and Star Trek, and oh, this means, are they going to be putting out a video game based on this?
Not that I'm aware of.
It felt like that was where we're going with it.
Yeah, but like I said before in the previous episodes, when Discovery went into the 31st century, they didn't need tricorders anymore. With everything with a holographic display, so the fact that they're still holding devices, I'm not really a fan of that. You know, like they've got tablets and stuff in the 31st century. Not a fan of that at all.
In a school setting, they are using the tablets, but we don't know.
Shouldn't everything be a
how they
hologram?
are.
Like, you know, even with the Doctor, who was funny enough not in this episode today, but
Yeah,
in episode
that's
1 and 2, episode 1 and 2, you asked for a tricorder, no medical tricorder, but obviously they were trying to, do a nostalgia trip with Voyager. But the point is that their tricorders are on their device, on their shirts. You know, it's a holographic display. Why is it a fucking handheld device? I mean, that was established in Discovery. So I'm finding all of this a bit weird.
It might be one of those things where when their little comm badge hologram isn't working, they still need to know how to use the actual device. You know, like they still have to have training.
Okay,
and
you're giving a reasonable
things.
response, I guess.
I try.
Okay, here's what out that because always try to be a vision of the future in regards to setting, technology, et cetera, and I knew that once we found out that Discovery was going 900 plus years in the future, one of the first things I remember thinking was, how are they going to try to depict a future time that's so far along, even from what we've seen, that it's going to lose any semblance of relatability with the audience. And I was just worried, like, okay, well, it's going to be so stupid crazy that, you know, we're not even going to be able to relate to the show or the characters or anything. And I thought that Discovery did a very good job of not just being so outlandish with it. And with this episode, and I think this goes to your guys' points about having problems with, you know, the pads and whatever. Okay, here's the thing. They're in a gym. There's a basketball hoop. And I'm sure the writers sat around and thought, outlandish, crazy, future-looking, Hill Valley in 2015, outfits can we do to make it seem like it's in the future? Or we could just say, fuck it, we're going to put a basketball hoop in there that people can relate to and, bring back the ropes we had in gym class. So here's the thing. I get that they have this crazy futuristic technology, but you still have to have, you can't alienate by showing them something that is just farcical and so made up that you can't make any connection with it whatsoever.
There has to be
Well,
some
look,
sort of grounding
I
in
never
reality.
complained about the sports stuff. I never complained about the sports stuff because even like things like with soccer, we've been using goals and wooden posts for over a century. Like those things are standard. It's very hard to future tech that shit. But stuff like actual technology, you know, when they've been established in Discovery a particular way, now we're reverting it back to how it was in the 23rd century in Starfleet Academy. I just find that the wrong way to go because we've established that we don't need physical tricorders in our hands in this century. We just have a holographic thing that comes up in front of our faces and we can scroll it around and that's how we fucking do our shit. And they're not doing that in this series. You know, a bit weird. They're not continuing the canon that was established from Discovery. And before we continue, I just want to quickly get to some comments here because we've got a couple of one returning as well. Board in Cork. Let me just get it up here. What do you say? This series could be quite good if they fully thought the details. Not sure they have exactly. Like, you know, they're not retaining the shit that was established in Discovery, as I said earlier. Busty Rivers, you know, I call him Busty because he sounds like a porn star. Wham bam, thank you, Zam. Elbow cuff, very good. Yeah, the 31st century is too far forward. Might have been better in the 36th century, or that's even further forward, mate. Or I think you maybe meant to say maybe 27th. Yeah, you did. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I don't mind them like trying a different timeline as well. To tell you the truth, I think it's good to freshen things up, and that's what they've done now. Yeah. Colin Barrett, welcome to the stream, mate. So yeah. That's what I've got to say about that. But anyway, I don't want to be stuck on this for too long. Let's move on.
We establish a rivalry between the two schools of War College and Starfleet Academy, like we've already talked about. And Calica team tryouts get announced. We're introduced a little more to Genesis's Admiral daughter kind of characterization, establish some of her daddy issues. Ultra competitive. She's gonna try to compete with Raimi for the captaincy of the team, and then we get the prank war.
Well, so at this point, I knew exactly what was going to happen, and this is kind of one of those things that kind of irks me a little bit. Is that we knew that he was going to win. She was going to show him up. And keep in mind, I don't have problems with the female captain. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not sitting here saying, oh, it's just more woman power, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, it was fucking predictable from the moment they introduced that, where it was just like, he's going to win. She's going to show him up. And then he's going to relent and be like, oh, you're a better captain. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm just like, we know exactly where this is going.
No, yeah, you're right, Cheetah. But there was a clever moment as well that I did like was that when what is that English dude's name, by the way?
I don't know.
The Kionian?
Well, I don't. Yeah, what the fuck is a Kionian?
Well, they're a new race that's been introduced.
The fish guy?
Okay, well, why he looks human.
No, if you that's kind of a disguise. If you saw him in episode 1, he actually has a different face. I don't know if that's a part of their race that they can do that, or if like that's just the way he's chosen to, you know, he just wants to look like, which is stupid, but in this day, in the 32nd century, but like he can actually change his face to like do something else. I don't know. It was in episode 1.
The thing is though that when he got eliminated and Genesis, and that's why the fuck did they give this character a name like Genesis? But Genesis, yeah, when she took over as captain, I like the Vulcan shit talking the English dude by saying, yeah, they found a new strategy and it's without you, and I thought, but
that was a great line. I love that.
Yeah, I loved it too. What I want to know is sorry, 1 second, Jeff. What I want to know is what happened with Mary Wiseman.
Tilly. We haven't even seen her.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, but I don't think she's going to be a main
Oh
character
no,
in
absolutely
this
not.
show.
I don't think so anyway.
The main characters are the kids. The other guys are all like, oh look, there's that person. Oh look, look, the Leonardo DiCaprio meme. Oh, yeah, that's what we're going to be getting when we get cameos. Like Mary Wiseman. Sorry, Jeff.
I was just going to say, in regards to the whole, you saw this plot line coming from yesterday. I mean, okay, but I honestly don't think that when you take the thousands of hours of television, not just Star Trek, but the thousands of hours of television that exist, nobody is sitting there trying to figure out ways to change formulas. We all knew that the guy who was the lead jock was going to get shown up, by the girl or something. Okay, I that didn't bother me because I'm not expecting everything to be a new take or something different to happen. It's like, okay, yeah, we knew she was going to show him up, and that didn't. I wasn't stuck on that. Like I was not be some kind of revolutionary, like, I mean,
Jefferson, if I could help you out on this,
Yeah.
I agree with you. It's all about the execution.
Yes, that's the
they
thing.
execute
Yes,
it well?
how do you
And that's what the
execute
did. They executed it
that?
well.
I don't
Yeah.
think so, but okay. I disagree, but that's okay. Well, for time's sake,
Because there are the shit's going to be so formulaic, as nerds, the nerds that we are, and the amount of media that we have consumed. There's going to be a lot of shit that we're going to figure out way in advance. But if they execute it well, then that's what I'll tip my hat.
It's not the fact that they did it. I don't have a problem with the fact that they did it. They made it so predictable and so. I almost want to say formulaic, where it's like, yeah, you could have done it a little bit differently. You should have just made her captain from the get-go. Like, why do we need this episode to prove that she's better? Because she has proven already that she's better than him. Like, he's just an arrogant
the execution
asshole.
for me,
and we already knew that. Why do we need a whole episode proving he's an arrogant asshole that'll do anything to win, and she's actually probably better than him at it? And why do we need a whole episode to prove that? We know that.
Because it was about personal growth for him and him actually opening up and telling her things about his past that he had kept hidden, and her also opening up more to him. Him using her daddy issues against her was slimy as shit.
Well, and I agree with you. I agree with you on that, because I do agree with the personal growth part of this episode. I know I'm jumping forward, but like the part where him and Reno were talking, I really like that scene. That was a really good scene. So I agree with you 100% on that personal growth part, but I just feel like we didn't need we didn't need that beginning part to kind of tell us that, in my opinion.
Honestly, I think that there are going to be plenty of tropes that we're going to probably get hung up on more maybe than this. It's unavoidable. Like I said, there's not a whole lot in the hundreds of thousands of hours of media that our race has produced. There's not a lot of room for surprise. And the other thing we have to remember now, we've got to remember that this show is not just for those of us that have been in Star Trek since we were toddlers. There are other people that are watching this and may not have watched so much TV and movie that they can predict of what's going to happen next. I mean, you can't always be the first one to have a movie where the bad guys win at the end, like Empire. Never, when does that ever happen? But it hasn't not happened since then. There's just not a lot of room for new, and there's some tropes that I can see coming that I hope don't happen. This wasn't the one that bothered me.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I wanted to say, like, the fact that even your position knew that they were better off with her than they were with him. It was one of the ways that they executed it really well, and there's sorry, let me make sure I use your username. Scarlett said as well. That there was growth in that too, which was good, and we're going to see that these guys are going to be they're like the little saplings that like to mimic your voice, as we saw in this. They're going to grow, and they're going to grow a lot, and we're going to see so much character development from them. And we're only 3 episodes in, so right now we're seeing the worst sides of these characters before they better themselves and become people who hopefully will appeal to us.
Good points all around.
What do you think of those plants, by the way? What do you think of those plants? I want one.
I would
just
like
wanted
to
to
have one of those
great.
plants.
See more.
I love the plant.
Yeah, thank you.
Question though, how is it okay or acceptable that, hey, you can't tear these plants out because they're protected, but it's okay if you genetically enhance them and spray them all over the place
I don't think they
and
genetic.
be
They
irresponsible
them?
for it? She juiced up the growth hormone for it or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah, I don't know if that, yeah, I don't know if that's
So,
genetically enhancing, but I get what you're saying.
well, the plant that we saw, the little looked like the Mario snapper plant at the beginning, it
Horse
was
plant, yeah.
different in the dorm.
Yeah,
Feed
no,
me
Super
some
Horrors.
more.
So, where's the line? Yes, feed me, Seymour.
Yeah.
Where's the line though with the plants?
Listen, that's like the age-old tale. Is like, listen, if you have a dead body and you bury it, just put endangered plants over top of it so they can't dig it up.
What do you guys think of the Klingon? Because
I like
at some
him.
point
I like him too.
he reminds me of what an actual Klingon is, but then he goes full on pacifist a little bit
Yeah, but
later on, and I don't know.
But
That's
Worf.
his.
Yeah.
That's been his
I mean,
thing
that's
from the
like
beginning.
Worf, but better. Like this guy is Worf, but better. I think.
Worf
Yeah.
but better. Are you? Wow, that. Worf but
That's
better.
pretty bold, Cotton.
It's hard to
Wow,
compare.
that's blasphemy.
Bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it works out for him. And how is he better exactly? I'm just curious.
I think that he carries himself better than Worf did, especially in the beginning. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how he's going to advance, but I mean, like, we all know like the memes about Worf being a bad dad and all this other stuff, and it's just like Worf was always the person getting thrown across the room. Like, yes, that's because he jumps headfirst into things that probably he shouldn't be fighting, which is fine for a Klingon. But like, I like
The
this
Worf effect.
I do like the fact of a Klingon healer. And like he's like, listen, there is honor in a good life. There is honor in, valuing life. You know what I mean? Like I this is the stuff I wanted to see from Discovery when we actually visited the Klingon Empire in the 32nd century. I want to know what the Klingon Empire's been up to. Now I still want to see more, but like this is a good little window into the Klingon Empire where I'm like, where are the Klingons now?
What I like
Catching
about
up with
this
the
show,
Klingons.
it's catching up with the Cardassians.
No, I'm not saying
Cardassian.
I'm not saying he can't value life, but I still expect him to be a little bit more of an ass kicker than he is. He seems to be like he wants to stand by his friends, but he doesn't want to, throw hands.
He's a
It's just bit
left-wing
weird.
Klingon. You know what I mean? Like he's very pacifist.
We'll take him.
He's the radical left Klingon.
The gorgeous left Klingon.
Maybe not the left wing Klingon, but maybe the woke Klingon.
No? Here's the thing that I'll say about that. It's kind of okay. So we have to accept that the Klingons, the Nausicaans, the Cardassians, and some other races are warp capable, but yet their culture and society does not reflect having been able to get to that point. And that's I think that's the tough part is okay. So the Klingons culture race, they show doesn't want to be a warrior, yet somehow they develop warp trap. They pull that out of their ass. The Packlets are supposed to be dipshits, but somehow they are capable of warp travel. The Nausicaans are basically the Star Trek version of the Predators. This, they don't even have fingernails that you can work with, but some develop warp travel. It's just okay. You show us these races when they have this technology, but then every single thing you show about their culture contradicts the ability to work towards being able to do that. It's
they've got a primitive culture, basically.
Well,
they've got a primitive culture.
That's the problem with having a planet of hats, I feel like, where everybody is homogenous on a certain planet. And I like that this show is, and the new Trek will have things be a little more complicated than that, not so black and white. Playing
more diverse,
a little bit,
may I say?
Dare we say it? More diverse, but that's just me
When
playing
did
devil's
Star
advocate.
Trek get so woke?
I do want to point out, though, that the Klingons did get warp travel because of the Herc. Like, they reverse engineered warp travel after they defeated the Herc on their planet. Because remember, the Herc enslaved them, and
that doesn't make it easier.
No, but they have the technology right in front of them, and they just reverse engineer. It's easier to reverse engineer than to create it from nothing.
But okay, so let's just say you get lucky enough to reverse engineer it. Now you have to duplicate it. That's not easy. Reverse engineering is hard enough. Once you accomplish that, now you have the challenge of doing it again and doing more of it, and then making it better. Yeah, I know the Herc argument.
I think
that doesn't do it.
But I also think I think that, and I'd have to research on this, or Daniel Vance can correct me if I'm wrong, but I also think that they, like, after they got warp travel, they went out and like committed mass genocide and stole technology. Like, they were basically raiders and did mass genocide to other races in their territory of space and stole their technology. That's where a lot of Klingon technology came from originally.
But
Reverse
you still
engineering it.
I have a recipe from my mom. I followed the recipe to a T. I cannot get this thing to taste the way she got it to do. And I did everything exactly. That just because you have the steps and you have the recipe doesn't mean you get the same flavor. And I tried it multiple times. This is for real, actually. I've tried it multiple times, and it's like, I don't get it. What is it that I'm following the recipe? It does not taste the way she did.
But there are different ways of completing.
You don't have your mother's panache.
But there are different ways
really,
to getting to warp travel. Like, there's not. It's not just one formulaic way. Like, you have the Romulans.
No, I know
use
that.
a black hole. Like you have, to power their ships to get them to warp drive. So it's like, I feel like that. Yeah, probably many Klingons died trying to figure this thing out, but like, they were willing to say,
That's what I was
the honor
say.
for the honor of being
some non-warriors that had to do it. But
Yeah.
they act like the only way it's a warrior or bust. But yet, we have all these ships and all this warp technology. That's a thing that it doesn't jive to see a Klingon that is not 100% warrior and act like it's weird. And they've Trek has always done that. They have always, any Klingon that's not 100% warrior comes with this my whole life backstory. Like, come on, stop doing that. You have advanced species, a very technologically advanced species. Stop acting like anyone who's not a warrior is a castaway. Warriors are not creating this technology. Period. Why they keep doing that? Why they keep acting like a non-warrior Klingon is like, ooh.
I don't know. Did they ever say that he's been shunned though? in this
Not
show?
really, but
Not so far.
not so
What
far.
was that?
But I feel it. I feel it coming, and we're already talking about it.
Yeah. We're gonna have an episode based
Well,
on him eventually.
And honestly, I feel
that'll
like
be
if
his episode
he is
explaining stuff.
shunned, I feel like that is a huge step backwards for the Klingons, and that's not what I want. As again, I want to see the Klingons moving forward. I want to see the influence of the Federation and then being a member race of the Federation for the past 400 years, 500 years, rubbing off on the Klingons. And you have science Klingons, and you have it's like Ferengi. I want to see, you see tons of Ferengi officers. Nog started that trend of all these just greedy Ferengis, but Nog wanted something better, and that's the catalyst there that started the Ferengi into this better, like I feel like this better state. That the Ferengi Alliance is one thing I want to see more of in this show. You know, I want to see the 32nd century version of these races that were very stereotypical back in the 24th century and 23rd century. I want to see them being like where they're at now. And I hope the Klingons have advanced. Like that's why I love the whole the Navarre thing, where the Romulans and the Vulcans came together again, and they formed a whole new society. And that I love that. I love that episode. I love that progression of the Vulcans and the Romulans, and I think that is what this era of Star Trek needs, more focus on that. I agree with you on that.
The Romulans didn't really have a choice, though, did they? They didn't have a planet. So.
Thanks, Spock.
Yeah, but they had the whole Romulan Star Empire. Like, yes, Romulus was destroyed, and the Romulus, and that's a huge blow. But it's like, you know, again, it's like they had a whole empire where, you know. So anyway, let's get back in because we are way off topic.
It's
We
weird,
have to touch on the heist.
You got two races of pointy aliens, and yet they have to somehow be connected to each other. Well, there's a variety of different aliens that all look human, and we're not related to them whatsoever. Weird. And also, Earth has so many languages and cultures and shit, but every other alien race is just one language, one culture. It's like,
Now they do talk about
the hats.
Well, but they also talk about different dialects of Klingon, different dialects of Romulan. Like they've made mention of all the different dialects, you know, in different on other planets. It's just all taken care of by the universal translator.
Good point.
Very well. Okay. So, what do we think of? Let's just break down kind of the themes of it a little bit.
Mage is like he's just throwing his notes out the window. Like he's just like,
oh yeah.
I like the sorry, Mage. But you know, like I like those transporter guns. I got to give me one of those.
I wanted to talk about the
That's
game.
pretty cool.
What do we think about the game?
Like I said, it felt like Halo.
Yeah, it's laser tag.
Also, okay, that was cool.
It's like a military version of laser tag.
Yeah.
Pretty much what it said on the tin.
I mean, it was very on the nose and just like, okay, it's a thing we've done for a long time, and we have weird mascots and.
Let me know when it's my turn.
Much. No,
Actually, Peter,
I do not yield my time.
No, I'm just saying. Let me know when it's my turn because
I always ask you, Chief, we get X-Men 3 vibes. Okay, yeah, not just me. All right, I'm sorry, Lord.
No, I was just gonna say it didn't feel that well thought out, but also I didn't feel like it needed to be that thought out, I suppose. What? Oh, right. Okay, you can talk,
I think he's
Cheeto.
saying he agrees with him. Okay. Yep, let's let Cheeto. He's about to sit on his hands if we don't let him talk.
No, wait. Make him the biggest screen on the thing right now so he can have his moment.
I don't need that. I really don't need that. No, is everybody else good? Like everybody else?
Go for it.
This game, yeah, it's like Halo. It's like I got X-Men. Zam, you're exactly correct. I got X-Men 3 vibes like at the beginning. It's so like it's laser tag. Like I could see if this was like a training simulation where you're like, okay, this is a ground combat simulation, what kind of freaking sport is this? Like, get the frick out of here with this. Oh, it's laser tag, but there's a mascot. I'm like, I hate this game so much. I'm like, you couldn't possibly do something like, at least with Quidditch and Harry Potter, it was original and it like kind of made like it kind of went hand in hand with like wizardry and stuff like that. This is just like, hey, we're playing laser tag. That's it. Transporter guns. And by the way, you're not even really, y'all suck anyway. That whole sequence, I was rolling on the floor when the War Academy played that video of all the bad parts that happened in their training session, because I was just
great.
like, that is the most disgraceful thing I've ever. You've got a protonic, right?
Photonic.
Photonic.
A photonic being that is scared shitless out of her mind. And like, I get it. If she's like, I feel like if it was
She's
real
like
life
6 months
situation,
old.
if this was like real life situation, or she didn't know she was in a simulation, I could see that. But like, she knew she was in a simulation. I think it would have been even more like better if she was just walking around going, "Ha, you guys can't hit me," like goofing around. That would have been more forgivable than her freaking out, hugging onto things, screaming, being freaking extra on the battlefield. And like, I can't with this sequence so much.
That whole character is extra though.
No,
that is like her whole personality. She is extra.
Yes, and it's great.
No, it's not. It's not
okay
great. Thal should be extra. She's a Klingon Jem'Hadar hybrid. She should be extra. Not a.
Well, we just found out she's a wonderful space lesbian, so leave her alone too.
Listen, I don't have a problem with her. I do not. She's like one of my favorite things about this. Although I don't. I think that relationship kind of came out of nowhere. But still, anyway.
I mean, Rena was going to find somebody, so.
Yeah, might as well be another person on the cast of her new show. Why not? Because coincidence. Anyway, no, but this game is so dumb. Like, you can't even explain this game to me. Like, you got to run up and shoot the dot above the mascot. Like,
it's capture the flag.
Yeah,
but you're not capturing anything.
You're capturing the mascot. The mascot is the flag.
You don't capture the mascot. You shoot something above the mascot. You get somebody with
to indicate that you've captured it.
No, but they're playing for captaincy, Gio. That's what they were doing. Those two. So whoever didn't end up shooting the icon.
You're further forward than I am. I'm just talking about running around.
And then we're supposed to protect the mascot.
Yeah, they did not do a good job.
Oh, you doing the mascot
thing now? Okay.
No.
Yeah, no. I just this whole sequence made them all look incompetent and horrible. And
all they had to do was replicate an Xbox
training whatsoever. And I listen. They made them look bad on purpose just so they can come back at the end and win. And they didn't even really do that. But I mean, they did win in the prank war. But I mean, yeah, like listen, the last 15 minutes of this episode redeemed it up to tolerable for me. Okay.
It finally felt like Star Trek.
Yes, the last 15 minutes of this episode felt like Star Trek. Everything before that was just utter freaking garbage to me.
Well, with Holly Hunter basically kind of shadow explaining how to beat them while
I didn't
berating
mind
them at the same time.
That's the stuff I didn't mind. I'm like, okay, she's educating. That's fine. You guys were talking about her the way she's around in the chair, and I'm like, I don't care. Like, I think it gives it personality.
A Lanthanite's gonna Lanthanite, apparently.
Yeah,
apparently they're all eccentric, like a Time Lord, just from being.
Listen, if there's ever a male Lanthanite, it needs to be Jeff Goldblum. I'm just saying.
That would be fabulous.
He'd do it in a heartbeat.
Gotta get used to these Lanthanites.
I like Lanthanites, and as I said, I mean, I like the idea of Lanthanites, but they just got to be odd and extra. That's probably just their trope.
Mm-hmm. That's something that I really like too. I think when you have lived that long, you've put a lot of work into that quirky, and you've tried other things, and found out what makes you you. And there's nothing wrong with being eccentric. Lanthanites aren't the only creatures in Star Trek that have been eccentric. They're just the most eccentric at this point.
I like it.
I'm just getting used to it, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
but
don't get me wrong, Pally is like the worst example for us to go in on. Like if
I
our
love
first
Pelia.
example of
Pally
the
is
Lanthanite was Holly
insane.
Her stupid quarters full of antique phones that they string across the Enterprise. That was extra.
Oh, you mean
Well,
Hocus
that's what I
Pocus?
mean. Like if Holly Hunter was our first introduction to Lanthanite, I'd be fine so far. But like, yeah, Pally, I can't stand her.
I like her in small doses.
I like her in no doses.
I thought the phone thing was really clever though, and something that only someone that had lived all those hundreds of years would ever think about.
Yeah, I agree.
It was
I totally agree.
It was a solution to a problem, a very unusual solution, but nobody else would have thought of that.
Yeah.
Yes, she's annoying, but she has a purpose.
I guess she does.
Yeah, maybe. You won't convince us. Well, at least you won't convince me and Mage.
I know we're jumping around here regarding this episode, but when we began this episode, that dude, he wakes up, likes to work out early in the morning, wears headphones like I am,
They're
People are
green.
still wearing headphones after.
They're futuristic.
Yeah, fair
they're
enough.
green.
But the guy, the main character dude, who's also with him, who's absolutely fucking jacked. Why the hell is he not waking up early in the morning? Yeah, like that guy looks like he would be working out every fucking day.
I mean, he's
like
only
that,
jacked because like that's the life. Like he was on the run. He was in prison. You know what I mean? Like that. That's. I mean,
He had to get like that to stay alive.
Yeah, but he's jacked. He's not like an athletic, slender sort of build that he'd probably get by being on the run. You know what I mean? He looks like the guy.
When he crosses his arms in front of the Betazoid princess person, like
check out these guns, baby. Yeah. Good evening, Nerdiverse. So yeah.
Do we want to talk about Mir and Tarima since we've brought up him standing in front of her with his jacked arms? Yeah.
He's fucking playing him like a fiddle.
Absolutely, and he is falling for it, hook, line, and sinker.
Girl being nice to me.
Shit. That's the kind of like I didn't mind the whole like romantic play where it was like, oh, be the guide and blah blah blah. But now they're like playing the like, that whole thing, and I'm like, I can't do that. It's stupid.
What did you expect out of this though? To play devil advocate, what did you expect from the show?
Yeah.
You talking to me?
You talking to me?
Yeah, I know I don't usually disagree with you, but
there's nobody here. So you'll be talking to
the 32nd century. I would like 32nd century levels of thinking where it's like we hopefully get better, not worse at these things. And like, as I said, her like manipulating him and using him, I was not hoping for that. I get the whole flirty blah blah blah, like with the whole, in the second episode, that I was fine with. I don't think I had any problem with that. Like she was flirting with him, wanting him to take him on the tour. But this whole manipulation and flirtiness and all, it's just like
where she raised the alarm. I thought that was I don't know. It was like they were having their moment, they were having their conversation, and she's like, I'm still gonna beat you. I didn't see that as like less of a romantic thing and more of just a rivalry thing.
Well, and if it is but then him chasing her like this is just, I don't like that. I hate it when you have male protagonists like chasing a woman that's just basically like playing hard to get or using them. And it's like, boy, I really wanted to be reminded of that in real life.
Well, look, She's gonna go all Jean Grey Phoenix on us eventually when that fucking thing on her neck
Right.
falls off.
Oh,
Yeah,
what happens
I'm
then.
waiting for that as well.
When it turns from blue to red to just goes out.
Right.
Yeah, and he's gonna be like Wolverine or Cyclops, depending.
What about the heist? The breaking into the war college and cloning the eyeball of the
Oh, I love that.
Awesome.
This was my favorite part of the tolerable. No, this was a good part of the episode. But I'm sorry, you give me 45 minutes of crap and 15 minutes of decent Trek. I'm like, that doesn't help at all.
How is that allowed? I'm just gonna grab a piece of your DNA. Let me go clone an eyeball real quick.
I mean, you're right. That does raise a lot of ethical questions.
Oh, we broke the security of Starfleet Academy, but Starfleet Academy hit back by cloning their chancellor's eyeball. Like
No.
the lines that we're crossing, and we're just like, eh.
The ethics are
Yeah, I was
leaving
thinking,
something to be desired. Who is teaching
They'll
their
have a
ethics
cl-
I mean,
course?
that the heist was. I wasn't underwhelmed. I wasn't overwhelmed. I was just whelmed. It was like, okay, yeah, there's going to be a heist, in this episode. That was predicted. I thought it was interesting. I don't have any strong feelings about it.
I feel
I
like
just think to myself, my God, it's so easy. Sorry, go on, Scarlett.
I feel like they started the shenanigans in the first place. And, don't start something that you're not capable of finishing.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
And they just found out that they weren't capable of finishing. You can't do things with all brute strength. You've got to have some brains in there too. And the War College kids are all about the brawn and a whole lot less about the brain. And they're going to find out the hard way that you can't win that way. You have to be able to strategize. It's not just about being a bully because you can.
I just want to say also, I feel like the ethics kind of balance itself out because keep in mind the war college's dean or whatever he is, commandant, whatever his name is or whatever his title is, he helped them access Starfleet Academy's transporters or something like that,
he let them cheat. He helped them cheat.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I can see it being an ethical problem if with them cloning eyes and breaking into places, but at the same time I could see Holly Hunter being like, you gave them access to our security, your people access to our security, so
right.
I just gave them your eyeball for one evening.
I gotta say the chancellor, what's her Brit, what, wait, Holly,
her name's Holly. The actress's name is Holly Hunter.
Nala.
I'm just forgetting. Yeah, Ake. Her going to the chancellor's office, showing off her feet, breaking all the rules of tea, and giving the other, is he chancellor or is he commandant or the other leader of the college?
I call him jackass.
He's a jackass. But her giving him a warning like, here's your chance to stop. Very 10th Doctor of her. And she's also 400 plus years old. Like, like this is your final warning or I'm going to end you. So I did enjoy that. Regardless of the feat.
Before we tangent too much, I want to get back to that eyeball thing and various other things because it just made me realize how easy it is to steal somebody's identity, how easy it is just to break in and take anything because there are ways of getting around everything.
This is what century again?
Any crime committed, you and it might fall upon you to be the person who's the culprit. Or you can just say, well, look, so and so copied my fucking identity. They must have got my DNA, made a fucking eyeball, and done it themselves. And
That must have been
used some sort of
AI.
holographic
They must
display.
have copied my.
Yeah.
Sam duplicated their image, stole their eyeball, and now they got away with it.
But
If you don't,
here's the
if
thing,
it looks,
though,
Yeah, exactly.
where the Chancellor helped lead them and give them ideas, she didn't do things for them. You know, she
Gave them the fungus.
She
It's
put the
not-
path in front of them, but she didn't.
but they chose to walk that path.
Yeah, the War College was just like, "Hey, we need this.
Even the
Okay, here's their access."
I'm going to give you
Exactly.
cryptic clues because you're the brain. You're and they're the brawn. So we're going to give you cryptic clues and hope you figure it out.
Yep.
But yeah.
So why do you want to talk about with the eyeball, Sam? There's the cybersecurity
the eyeball.
allegory.
No, but I kind of said what I said regarding the eyeball. I just
Okay.
I just think to myself, my God, anything is possible. Anybody can say they're anybody, and anybody can steal anything. You know, if stuff are held behind like a biometric, biocentric, whatever the word may be, sort of security system, well, copy the fucking
Biometric.
the fingerprint. Yeah, copy, make a copy of the of that person's body part, and boom, you're in. And now I'm going to steal it. Nothing is sacred. Nothing is sacred.
It. Eyeball is very Minority Report.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Daniel Vance.
Do you think we'll be getting Paul Giamatti back soon? And with him,
probably the last couple maybe last 2 episodes.
Last 2 episodes, probably.
Maybe a
midway, and then the last few episodes.
Like episode 5, and then
and he's gonna escape from escape being caught.
Hey,
youngster!
I'm still here, and then
he twists his moustache, and he twirls his moustache, and I'll be back again soon. You'll see me again, ha 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 ha! As he disappears into warp drive. You know.
How did the tractor not grab that shuttle?
Sorry?
You talking about
it was an escape pod, right?
Yeah, it was an escape pod.
Yeah,
it was capable.
How it was one of their own escape pods. How did a tractor beam not grab that?
Typical Star Trek trope of it's offline. Probably, I don't know.
There were multiple systems still down on that ship, so
yeah.
Whatever the writers need to be offline to create tension, they knock offline.
Yeah.
Well,
Writer's plot device.
It's lazy, is what it is.
A little bit.
I mean,
It's the longest running thing, though. Oh no, there's an ion storm. there's interference. We can't beam them up.
I know.
Oh God! Here come the Borg.
Please no. Unless we're going to see Borgerati. No more Borg.
I would love to follow up with Borgerati.
No.
What are they doing?
Don't do
it.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to join us? Resistance is optional.
I need to get it out of my system before I forget.
That was electronics.
Forget stuff like Saved by the Bell, because that's all bollocks. And I know this stuff is trying to replicate that to a degree, but for me, this is more like Revenge of the Nerds. I'm not sure if you guys ever saw that.
Yeah.
Porky's and all of these sort of frat house, Animal House, frat house sort of college comedies that with a bit of a sexual undertone to it as well. They were a bit more R-rated back then, and this is definitely not R-rated. But I'm getting those sort of vibes from it. A bit of tit for tat, the nerds versus the jocks, like Revenge of the Nerds was. That's what it kind of reminds me of. And if it's anything like Revenge of the Nerds, I'll be a happy man. Revenge of the Nerds is a fucking classic.
All right. Does anybody else have any final thoughts? We're at our hour mark. We should probably go ahead and mark the episode unless we have strong final thoughts that we need to get out.
I think I've
I hope they
bitched
don't
enough.
Yeah.
Y'all got my point.
10 out of 10, best
I
Star
just
Trek
don't-
episode ever.
I don't want like this sort of like shenanigans to be happening too often. I want them to be
Yes.
doing other stuff. I want them to maybe go on a field trip in space somewhere. You know, do a field trip to the moon or Titan or whatever. You know, maybe do a field trip to a planet where they have to basically pick up some samples and they uncover some sort of massive fuck up or whatever, and it leads to like a classic Star Trek episode. Something along those lines. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that could be pretty cool, but not more of what we got this week. Not.
I'm glad we got it, but I'm done with it now. I want to move on from that into
I
something
agree. I
else.
agree with that. We got some shenanigans. We got the High School Musical Saved by the Bell-esque parts. Let's go explore. Yeah.
If you can't remember her name,
Yeah.
just call the Chancellor Chancellor Belding.
Chancellor what?
Belding.
From Saved by the Bell.
Oh, okay.
Saved by the Bell.
When I wake up in the morning and my comm badges are ringing and
You know what?
Look at that
About Saved
poll.
by the
It's
Bell.
100% 10.
I like not once did they ever get away with any of their shit. They always got caught at the end, and I thought to myself, just once, just get away with it. Just get away
Then
with
they
it.
couldn't learn their lesson, though.
But they don't learn their lesson, but they keep fucking doing the shenanigan every week. You know, like
That's what
Keep
show,
getting
the show
detention
is
or
about.
whatever. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, let's start with you, Zam. What would you give this episode if you had to mark it? Because you
I like this episode.
Oh.
It's all right. Yeah, this was fun. I'm not expecting the Earth from this, so I don't want to give this a very high rating because I personally like this episode. But at the same time, this is not the most amazing Star Trek, but it's adequate. So it gets an adequate 7.
All right. Fair enough. Scarlett, let's go on to you.
I'm going to give it an 8. There are a lot of parts of it that I really enjoyed. The ethics is something I had a little bit of an issue with. Cloning the dude's eye. That touches things that I don't know that I would be okay with. But I have some issues with the emotional manipulation, that the girl manipulating the guy, the dude doing with the daddy issues, using that against the girl. I had issues with that stuff because that's the kind of shit that happens in real life, and especially in that age group. And I don't want younger people that are watching this to think that that is okay, because it's not. So that's where I'm at.
All right. Cousin Cheeto?
3. And the only reason why it gets a 3 is because that last 15 minutes actually was decent track.
I was gonna say I'm shocked it got that high.
I know.
Wow.
It takes a lot to get like a 0 or a 1 or a 2 or even a 3 out of me. But this was absolutely subpar. Like for me, this was Daniel Vance says a 4, but he'd never go out of his way to watch it again. I will probably avoid this episode even forever. Ever and ever and ever.
Fair enough. Lord Donkey, what is your mark, sir?
Well, it's not actually a 10. I don't know if I can change that in the poll, but I skewed the results. So I will go with an 8 as well. I just the whole Halo Combat Evolved aspect of it, and I don't know. It yeah, I don't know how to feel about this one. Probably won't watch it again. It just, it was okay, but it wasn't I wasn't as disappointed as Cheeto. So
I would love to do just like a podcast where we all talk about our rating scales and like what we think each number is. Because you say
Right.
like I won't ever watch it again, but I give it an 8.
yeah,
What? Anyway,
we
okay.
could
I
we
agree.
could
I agree.
definitely
I
have a
agree,
conversation
Cheeto.
about that because
I agree.
it does take a lot for me to go below a 5.
Mhm.
So
You have to go
All
below
right.
5, but 8 is
Or
so
even a
high for something
6.
that you won't watch again.
yeah.
All right.
Anyway, okay.
Jefferson?
Well, so I think that for me there was probably more nostalgia hits, just because there were so many things that I could relate to there, just with the sport aspect, the rivalry aspect, the college and mascots and all that, because that's what I came from. So I was, I guess, able to identify with that uh, differently than some others. To me, that's like, yeah, I mean, that's two-a-days right there. That's offense versus defense. That's rivalry and all that, kind of sports related. Um, there was really there was a lot that I liked there. So I'm gonna say, ooh, I don't want to end up giving every episode a 9, but shit, it's like
If that's where
it.
you're at, that's where you're at with it.
I'm trying to think of a reason to give it something lower, like maybe an 8. Was there something there that I didn't like all that much? But I'd have a hard time not giving it a 9 because it reminded me so much about uh, my time in high school and college. So I guess I was the audience for this one. You know,
They can't make a show for everybody. If they keep trying to make a show for everybody, they'll end up making a show for nobody.
right?
Well said.
As for me, I've got 2 different ratings in my head. One for like if it's an episode of TV, just as a TV show, and then there's one if it's an episode of Star Trek. So I'm going to give it a 5 and 3 respectively.
I haven't really heard much of your opinion. Actually, we've all been talking so much, especially me. You got anything more to say, Mage?
Yeah, we're not the target audience. At least I'm not, I don't think. But that's okay. They've got to try to get some new blood in. Me and Scarlett were arguing about it earlier a little bit, and she pointed out that old fans die eventually. They have to bring in some fresh blood, or else the franchise will die off.
That's the 100%
Let me
truth.
add that we were not arguing. We were not actually arguing. We were discussing.
Debating. Disbatting.
Intensely discussing.
Right.
And I just
yeah.
want to point out that I understand that this show is not geared towards me. I understand that, but a lot of the problems that I have with this episode have more to do with the framing of Star Trek in this episode, not the framing. Like as I said, like the whole like romance thing. Like I didn't mind that because I was just like, whatever. Like that's not for me, and that's fine. I'm not saying, oh my God, this is so cringe because of the romance aspect. I didn't like it because of the manipulation that was going on there. But at the same time, there's issues here. Even if you're framing this as Star Trek, there's some issues in here that this just doesn't work for Trek, in my opinion. I'm not saying the whole show doesn't work. I genuinely enjoyed the first 2 episodes. This one was like just horrible for me.
I feel like getting hung up on the Star Trek aspect of it, like we're holding Trek up as this. It is a monolith, but
it's called
holding it up. What?
It's called Star Trek.
It is called Star Trek, but
Star Trek though.
We're gatekeeping the episode from ourselves because we're saying, "Oh, it's not Star Trek," or it's.
I never said it's not Star Trek.
It's the idea. I'm generalizing the idea that the some older fans are going to hate it because it's not like what came before it, and I think that's why I'm more resistant to giving newer or these shows lower ratings, because I'm just going into it as a show that is related to the other shows, but it's its own thing, it's its own vibe.
Hmm.
Well, and
It's
that's why
not.
I don't blame. Like, am I sitting here telling you guys like, oh, you guys are wrong? Like, no, if you guys enjoy it,
No,
go for it.
you're not doing that. None of us are
Oh,
doing that. But
I thought you were saying that.
there
I'm like,
is
no, I'm not
there
gatekeeping.
is that feeling of older
Sorry.
fans Stargate keeping. That's a good
All
one.
I'm saying is that I didn't
I
enjoy it,
like
but as I
that.
said, I know I'm in the minority in that one. But I just
Yeah.
this episode rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah, fair enough. This wasn't the episode for you. We've been
Absolutely.
on either side of issues when it comes to episodes of other types of Star Trek that we watched in the past. And regarding, just generally saying that this episode this show might not be related to us, but it is related to us enough that it is Star Trek. So there is enough in there for us to associate ourselves in it and watch this show and stuff like that, regardless of it being a high school drama or maybe set on a space station or set in space somewhere or whatever it may be. So yeah. And you know what? We've all been to high school. Just harken back to our memories, what it's like. I mean, this is like American high school. This got nothing to do with me whatsoever. Like some of the stuff what I'm watching when I'm watching this shit, I'm thinking to myself, Americana. It doesn't feel universally Earth. It feels,
That's very true.
like none of it feels like it might a university or college in the United Kingdom. It's that all of this shit feels like it's come from a university or college in the United States.
Doesn't feel like
And then
uni.
again, it is set in San Francisco, so it makes sense.
So
So
Yeah.
it makes sense. So
that doesn't feel like uni. Jeez.
yeah.
All right, folks. So that's been our review of season 1, episode 3 of Starfleet Academy. I want to thank all my co-hosts, Zam, Scarlet Fire, Cousin Cheeto, Lord Donkey, and Jefferson Kelly. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. All the audience members, everybody in chat, thank you so much for showing up. If you haven't already, you should definitely subscribe to NerdTube, because we've got more than just sci-fi here on the channel. You can tune in for sports entertainment, and you can watch what Cheeto's about to tell you about.
Fan film reaction coming out tomorrow. If you're a channel member currently, you can actually watch it now. But we had reviewed a Studelberg film from Captain Barrel Productions, and we are releasing that tomorrow for everybody to see. So we are back in. We're not like back in the full swing of fan films like we used to be, but if we get requests to do fan film reactions, we do them. So we have one coming out tomorrow. So thank you so much for Studelberg for requesting us to review that, and we look forward to everybody watching it and leaving their comments on that. And of course, always support the official release.
Thanks, Skippy. Zam, what do you have coming down the pipe? You
Well,
guys
I've got a
are doing
couple of things.
SmackDown?
Yeah, I still got SmackDown to do, and then eventually we shall be doing a review, a live reaction to the Royal Rumble live from Saudi Arabia. Maybe we might see a beheading as one of the eliminations. Who knows? But I do have some other stuff that I've been a bit apathetic about. Got some food reviews as well. And if I can be asked, I will try and do a season review of Landman Season 2.
Lots of reasons to subscribe here at NerdTube.
And also, don't forget our guest Jefferson Kelly down below. He, subscribed to his channel. I believe there's a link
Beyond Trek podcast, correct?
The Beyond
That's
Trek podcast. There should be a link down below, but if not, I'll make sure it's there. Or if you just look up Beyond Trek podcast, you will be able to find it.
Yeah. Thanks,
I almost
guys.
messed up.
Always like being on, doing live streams with you. A lot of fun. Of course, I always like talking Star Trek. Who doesn't? So, yeah.
It's always a pleasure to have you on. So, everybody, take care until next time. You've been watching NerdTube, the great